And now I'm going to share my screen so that we can get started. We're going to hold off on enabling language interpretation until we have folks who speak Spanish with us in the meeting. But welcome to day 2 of our social media advocacy course. So we're just going to go. Oh, well, we'll skip this part of it, but basically it's just a slide that explains our responsibility and commitment to language justice, and our desire to allow everyone to speak in the languages that they feel comfortable in and to participate in it too. And then this was just instructions on how to enable interpretation, which we'll go back to later. But this is just a rough agenda of what we are going to do today. We're just going to recap our community guidelines, do a small introduction to social media. We're going to take a small break then, and then run into starting our Twitter accounts for those who might not have one, and then working through the different features that Twitter has. And then the task that we have today is to retweet something from SDA's Twitter account. So to start us off, I'm just going to run through community guidelines. These are intended to allow our learning space to also be a healing space for us. And so I'll just run through these. And if we have any suggestions, please let me know, and we can also add it to this list. The first one is no bigotry, hate, or slander will be tolerated. Respect people of all backgrounds, identities, and experiences. Take space, make space, meaning that if you have noticed that you are participating a lot, maybe take a moment to step back to allow other folks who may not be sharing as vocally to have a chance to share as well. What is said here stays here, and what is learned here leaves here. So that means it's really taking the skills and concepts, but not naming specific actions or people in the course when you are leaving. Take care of yourself. So this is an online course and there's a lot of screens and things might not feel good. And so if you need to disengage for a moment, please do so. So one mic, one diva, meaning if one person is talking, try to let them finish the thought before you try to speak. Correct with care. If someone has said something that does offend you, take a moment to address that harm in a way that will allow the other person to listen as well. Don't assume knowledge, meaning if you are using acronyms or academic jargon, make sure that you are explaining what it means so that everyone has an idea of what you are talking about. And so I'll pause to see if anybody else has any other community guidelines that they would like to add. Okay, with that, we'll keep going. And so we also have live captioning enabled for the Zoom. Unfortunately, this is only available in English, but if you would like to enable it, all you have to do is go to the closed caption button and press show subtitle. You can also adjust the size of the closed caption by clicking on the subtitle setting in case it is crowding part of the window or you want it to be smaller or larger. And so before we start to jump in, I just wanted to pose a question to all of you, which was, if you could use social media to speak on an issue, what it would be. And so I'm going to stop my screen share so we can all talk amongst each other.
Well, I guess I'll start. How you doing, Bisma and everyone? I'm Greg Ledbetter. I am a career advocate at SDA, and I have 2 Facebook pages. One is my regular Facebook page, and I have, well, actually I have 3. One is I have with Dharma, and we have a entertainment site that's called Access Exclusive Entertainment. So those are the ways, you know, I do entertainment, I do local news, housing rights, and things like that on there. So
Yay, thank you for sharing. And Carrie, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues, but I think um, unhoused people would be a good social media thing. It's a very visual, and everybody has seen it. I don't care where you live, but I think that would be it. Thank you.
Maybe I'll ask if you can popcorn to someone else that you see on screen, Carrie.
Okay, yeah, great. Okay, we will go with Aurora. Aurea. Is that how do you spell it? You're on mute, Aurora. Duran.
Oh, okay. What's the question about? Sorry, I missed that.
The check-in question is, if you could use social media to speak on an issue, what would it be?
Oh, uh, about health. It's what I'm interested mostly on health issues.
That's wonderful. And if you can,
And also some time on entertainment.
yay.
That's
Would you
it.
be able to pick on someone to speak next?
Oh, Cora, has Cora been asked? Is Cora there?
For Dorma and Linda, I use social media in, I would say, a variety of ways, such as entertainment, just a tool for communication, for whatever way you may use it. I'm very new at it, and I'm looking forward to learning more about it.
Thank you, Linda. I see that Cora is unmuted, but it doesn't seem like we can hear her. But I'll also uplift what has been written in the chat. So Melissa Bass wrote immigration rights, also police brutality, universal health care, student loan forgiveness. And then Joey wrote, for me, disability justice, access to justice. Let's see, would anyone else like to share with us what issues they would like to talk about on social media?
My name is Sarah Potter, and I was just going to say we're a grassroots advocacy group of parents in North Carolina. There's a wait list for home and community-based services. There are 15,000 people on the wait list and growing daily. We only serve about a little over 12,000, so there are more people on the wait list than are actually being served. So we have a Facebook page, and we're trying to organize the whole state to put pressure on Home and Human Services and the legislature to do something about the wait list.
well,
Thank
we
you.
definitely welcome you into our forum for sure.
Thank you.
And Leonore wrote Hispanic Disability Month in the chat as well. And I see Osvaldo is joining us, or is it not Osvaldo?
It's Emmy Diaz. But I sent Osvaldo a link because I helped them to register. And so they got Osvaldo. Yeah.
Do we need to activate interpretation?
Yes, let's.
Oh, and he or she, I don't know if it's Emmy or Osvaldo, but then got out.
Okay, so maybe they'll join us.
The connection is bad. You know.
Okay, we'll wait on them until they're here, but would anyone else like to share before we jump back into the presentation?
I think that we can also try to use social media for other things that are more positive to create unity, you know, among people of color, because the system is very effective and, you know, making us fight over little things. And so it would be nice if we can use the social media to actually, you know, bring us together.
This is Sarah Potter again. I guess I'm using it mostly for good trouble. Besides the wait list for home and community-based services, we're also really pushing for an increase in wages for our direct support professionals, which is a national problem. But our last DSP made $8.25 an hour, which is just horrific. And we have a really critical shortage, and they're working on the budget now, and the House and the Senate are arguing, and they haven't had an increase in 10 years. So we're also trying to use Facebook to get the attention of people that don't really understand the critical need of a direct support professional and the jobs that they do. There just seems to be a lack of awareness of the importance and the value of that position.
I am in total agreement. Wow.
I guess I'm a troublemaker.
No, that it's unheard of thinking. Did you say $8 and what was it, $8 and something an hour?
Our last DSP made $8.25 an hour. She worked 3 jobs and had been doing it for years and years and had 4 children of her own. It's an outrage.
Wow. That's sad. Scary.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah, and for again showing us the need to use social media to do good trouble and support our communities. I also see Jessica hands up, so I'll let you speak. Jessica is the Executive Director of Senior and Disability Action, what's running this course.
Thanks, Bisma. Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica. Sorry to be a little late. I use she and her. Really great to see some familiar faces and meet some new folks. I just wanted to add what Lihia was saying. I was also thinking similarly about people learning about how powerful it can be to be disabled and to learn about disability identity and disability pride, and to do that on social media.
Thank you for that. And so with that, thank you for all of those wonderful thoughts. We're going to transition into our course material today. And so first, we're going to talk a little bit about hashtags. And so hashtags, to understand what they are, is a £sign followed by a catchphrase. So the first example I'm giving here is hashtag free Wi-Fi. So on social media, it serves as an indication for both people who are using it as well as computer algorithms that strings all of these posts together to create internet traffic. And so basically all of this is to say that hashtags build engagement and supportive base. And people can search for hashtags to see what other people are saying online about it. Mostly hashtags are used on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and can create action and organizing power to connect people in similar interests. So some like basic examples that I want to throw out there is the hashtag BLM, which became especially big during the movements last summer. Another one that tends to be very common is hashtag travel. And so typically it is a lot of people trying to use one hashtag phrase to organize along an issue. And so this will be important to keep in mind, especially as we engage and learn about Twitter today, because a lot of the platform relies on hashtags to see content. And so I also want to take a moment to introduce, sorry, there's a motorcycle. The free Wi-Fi campaign at Senior Disability Action. And I know that Aria, you have been involved with it too, so I want to take the opportunity to speak about it, your experience with it as well.
Yeah, initially in the first meeting, we were asked how important Wi-Fi is for all of us, especially seniors, and everyone gave various reasons for Wi-Fi, which unfortunately most of us do not have access to because it's not free. So the group has been advocating for this free Wi-Fi so that more people will benefit from social media, where most of us which most of us use to get access or to access services for different reasons. And luckily, I guess, we're getting positive results out of this campaign.
Thank you so much for sharing, Aria. But yes, so the free Wi-Fi campaign is currently in the works. It is member-led. Members have been meeting, and we have just decided our target to actually be AT&T. And we created an online petition to circulate to both AT&T and Comcast's, but our actions are focusing specifically on AT&T. And so there's an online petition we're creating, as well as in-person actions that we are laying out. So on September 18th at 11 a.m., there's going to be a meeting where we're going to create signs for our big rally in front of the AT&T building on October 18th. And so we in this class are also going to get involved with the efforts of the free Wi-Fi campaign by creating a video skit over Zoom. And so next week, we will be covering how to use Zoom effectively. And the second day of the course will be dedicated to actually recording a video together on how to amplify the message on the importance of free Wi-Fi. And so that is to come, but I wanted to plant the seeds for us today to start thinking about this as we build our understanding of social media, of hashtags, of how to marry the in-person actions with online movement. And then I also see Lupita has joined us. It's nice to see you. Do you want to?
Sorry, I'm late.
Would you like to add anything about the free Wi-Fi campaign? I know you've been involved with the writing of the online petition.
I just I think that we're in a good track, right? What do you think? That we need to do something more like probably petition and gathering firms, probably gathering signatures and all that?
Yes, we're still in the works of publishing and finalizing the petition, but yes, we will also ask folks to sign the petition, and then creating traffic behind this whole cause so that we can get the attention of AT&T to establish free Wi-Fi for seniors and people with disabilities in the city of San Francisco. Perfect.
Thank you. I think that we are doing great. That's my point of view. That it's gonna be good. Thank you, Bisma, because I know you're part of the signatures and all that. It's gonna be electronic, right?
Yes, it will
All
be.
right. Thank you.
Perfect. And so we're just gonna take oh, well, this might be a little early for a break, but maybe we should take it later in the course. How are people feeling in terms of their energy right now?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah,
good.
we can keep
Okay.
going.
Perfect. Let's keep going then. All right, so next we are going to jump into Twitter terms. So I am just going to put these definitions out here so that when I'm talking about it, we can all have an understanding of it. So on Twitter, the main way that you engage is by writing a tweet. So a tweet is a message that can have up to 280 characters, and you are allowed to share it with your followers. A retweet is when another person has shared a tweet and it shows up on your profile picture or your account, and you want to retweet it so that it can show up on your personal feed as well. You can share your thoughts with what the other person has posted, or you could just let it stand alone and just retweet it as the account. And so you can also quote tweet is what it's called when you add your own thoughts along with what someone else has written. Trending topic, or acronym is TT, refers to topics that are receiving a lot of attention on social media. And so trending topics can stay for a few days, hours, or even a longer period of time, like months in some cases, and can be generated in a specific country or even at the global level. And you see the trending topics specifically through the Explorer page. And I'll show you exactly what I'm referring to as we go through the Twitter account. Certain accounts on Twitter will also be verified. This means that there's a blue badge next to an account name, which means that this is an authentic business or community partner that has received verification. So these might be better or trustworthy sources of information as opposed to individual accounts that may not have that badge. And so just by a raise of hands, how many people here have a Twitter account? I'm gonna stop.
I do Bisma, but I never use it at all. You just taught me something with the hashtag, because I could be posting some things on my Twitter page that I have on my Facebook page just by putting a hashtag on it. So thank you.
Of course, we're gonna keep diving into it, but I also want to give a moment so that if people want to make a Twitter account, that we can set one up together. And thank you for everyone who raised their hand to show me, but we are gonna go on to twitter.com so you can follow along. And all you need for a Twitter account is just an email or phone number and to create a username. And so it can be some variation of your name. You can add a photo of yourself as well, but I dropped the link in the chat so that we can create accounts together.
Minutes. So basically we'll have, or we will be presenting, let me just mute everyone.
Has everyone who doesn't have a Twitter account opened the Twitter link?
Actually, Bisma didn't come across this room.
Ooh, let me try it again. Share. You might have to copy and paste it in your browser because it doesn't seem to be hyperlinking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
This is Linda. For myself, I know nothing about Twitter, but I did create an account 2
Perfect.
days ago.
Amazing. We're going to be walking through the different interfaces in a minute. I just want to make sure that people who don't have an account can start the process so that they can see what it looks like as we go.
I don't know if I know how to get back to the account.
But you can also use this link and then just log into the account if you'd like.
Okay.
It's in the chat. And so if you remember your username and password.
I'll try and do it on my phone.
You can also download the app too, if you have your phone handy.
Twitter.com.
See everybody looking down, hard at work, trying to get on their Twitter. Okay.
So now once you log into your account,
Do you remember what your login information was?
I have it in front of me. Sign out. I went to another website.
Heck, we have time for this. I just went I just went into Twitter and it says for my phone number, I have more than one account with them. So I don't know what that's about. So I'm gonna attempt to go in with the email address.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. I also wanted to uplift for folks who may be using Twitter in a different language. If you go on the Twitter browser website, you can actually change the settings to display tweets and content that you see in another language. So basically, we can walk through where these things are, but if you click the more icon and the settings and privacy drop-down menu, you can then click on the accessibility display and languages tab to then be able to change the language on Twitter. Hi, Peter. I see that you have joined us.
Not once
Hi
you
there.
sign up.
Hey there. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. I haven't held anything up.
We actually started on our Twitter presentation after covering a bit of the free Wi-Fi with Aria and Lupita.
Oh, okay. Great.
But if you also want to give your 2 cents on it, I can also go back to.
No. I don't need to reiterate. If they already covered it, then they covered it. Lupita and Aria are good spokespeople.
Yes. Do folks need a minute or should I continue explaining the interface of Twitter?
Could you wait just a second? I'm
Yes.
trying to get in here.
Does anyone want to walk through or talk through the problems that they might be having on getting on their Twitter? Because we can do that together too as a class.
Sure. Uh,
Please.
actually, one, Padma, my Twitter username, one, I don't remember it. And I think it's the same as my email address, but it keeps sending me right back to that same thing. This is trying to get, I'm trying to
Oh,
retrieve
no.
my password from this. So let me see. I'm gonna try my real name.
It should work with the email that you created, but that's strange that it is giving you that error. But you should be able to do a forgot username to be able to access it. I don't know if you see that button.
No, I didn't. Well, like I said, I don't even know the email to get in. Okay, I can figure this out.
So the other Osvaldo is the real Osvaldo.
If it's Varillas, I'm sorry, if it's Varillas, I just ask if they need interpretation or not.
Él necesita interpretación, Osvaldo. Usted en su teléfono puede localizar el canal de español.
No ha sido activado todavía, Ligia.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been activated. We were waiting. Yes.
Okay, should we end up activating the language channel then? Okay, perfect. Then I'll put the slides back up so that we can all engage in. So I want everyone to just take a pause from the Twitter for a second so that we can set up language interpretation for Zoom. And this applies to both English and Spanish speakers. So I'm gonna share the presentation again and go back to the language interpretation slides.
Can I interject a little bit? I think Osvaldo's audio is not fully connected yet, so we want to make sure that he's fully in so we can explain to him if that works.
I'm not going there.
¿Quieren que lo llame y le diga o cómo? Pero él está en el teléfono.
What I can do, I also just typed up the instructions. I can put them in the chat. Okay. And then hopefully, oh, there he is. Osvaldo, ¿nos escucha?
¿Sí escucha, Osvaldo?
Nos hace una seña si nos escucha.
Osvaldo, ¿escucha? ¿Puede levantar el dedo gordo si escucha? Ok. Ok. Osvaldo, ¿puede localizar el canal de español en su teléfono?
I think we can explain if we can hear.
Yeah. Le voy a mandar un texto.
Okay, and I will put it in the chat too.
In the meantime, I just explained that Ligia is going to send the text to Osvaldo and Heidi is writing on the chat box the instructions.
That's English. Sorry, it's a lot.
Oh, I have a confirmation. Confirmation. Oh, just some. Oh, what?
I'm actually seeing, viewing
Okay, this stuff I
a
cannot go keep
Spanish
going
page.
through this. Reset
Oh,
password.
okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
Would you like to change the Osvaldo names? There's Lupita and there's Emmy Diaz. So if you wanted to change those names.
And then Bisma, if you like, while you do that, I can definitely just go on.
Okay.
English and then Spanish. I'll do both. But what do you prefer?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so I'll be doing consecutive interpretation just so we can go all together to select the language feature.
Oh, okay, perfect.
At the bottom of your screen, if you are joining us on a computer, you will see a globe icon, and you don't see it yet because it will appear as soon as they enable the interpretation. Once you see that globe at the bottom of your screen, please click on that and select your language, the preference of your language, and make sure to turn off the audio. If you are joining us with a phone or a tablet, you can find this feature by clicking on the three dots or the word more. And also make sure you click done, so that could be activate the interpretation. Para activar la interpretación, les pedimos que por favor vaya a la parte inferior de su computadora, si está utilizando computadora, y va a encontrar un globo terráqueo. Ahí va a tener la selección del lenguaje. Elija el lenguaje que usted desea escuchar y manténgase en ese lenguaje. Asegúrese de apagar el audio original. Si no encuentra el globo y nos está acompañando por un teléfono inteligente o una tableta, le podemos, puede encontrar esta habilidad en 3 puntos o la palabra more para entonces escuchar el lenguaje en inglés o español. Go ahead, Bisma, I think. Pueden ver el símbolo en un momento. You will see the icon in a moment. Just now.
Coming along. Do you have access to it?
Nope.
Nope. What's going on?
I'm waiting for the code. I'll just watch whatever you're gonna do. I'm not.
Yeah, and actually,
I'm stressing. I don't
mine,
want to stress to get. I'm through.
with mine, I'm gonna have to turn around and see why I have 2 Twitter accounts.
Okay.
But I have it on my phone, and I would imagine if I go through it through the app, it probably would get me into Twitter.
Mhm.
But my main media avenue is Facebook. So,
Okay.
but it's like I said, so far as it goes, I want to know about Twitter too. So go right ahead, this one.
Thank you for that. And I want to see if Cora, Melissa, or Joey, or Carrie have a Twitter account / are on it, or would be able to engage with the content.
This is Carrie. I have my account ready.
Perfect. Amazing. Okay, I see a thumbs up from Melissa. Not sure if Cora or Joey can hear us.
I can hear you, but continue with the class. I suppose I have a Twitter. I don't know anything about it, so I'm learning as I listen
Okay,
to others.
sounds good. Okay, got it. Thank you for clarification, Joey. So it seems like everyone has an account or has access to an account right now. Oh, yes.
Yeah, Bisma, I had to, I didn't have Twitter in the iPad. So I forgot my password. I had to reset the password. That's why I wasn't here. I'm sorry, but now I got it in the tablet because I'm on the phone now. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you, Bisma.
Perfect, amazing.
But you know what it says? That all my activity was erased because of the new password. The activity that I had. So I suppose I'm like, I didn't have activity. I only retweet. I don't know how to do anything else, but retweet and retweet. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, and Sarah, I don't know if you can hear us or also if you want to share if you have a Twitter or are in the process of setting one up.
I've got one. I'll share it.
Perfect, amazing. So we're just gonna keep going with the presentation then. Let me get the right slides up. So I will be doing this presentation from the perspective of the browser. So you can log on to twitter.com, that website that I dropped in the chat, to get this sort of layout, or you could keep using your phone, but it might just be a crunched screen. But basically the red box that is highlighted on the screen is called the home page. This is where you will be able to engage with people that you follow or hashtags that you follow on your main way of communication. Next, I'm going to go through the different panel options. So that's the home. Explore is where you can see what I mentioned before with the trending topics. So hashtags that are very common or that are generating a lot of content online, you'll be able to check out through the Explore page. Notifications is where you will see people or accounts specifically engaging with your content. Yes, Greg, I see your hand is up.
I'm sorry, Bismarck, I didn't want to stop you while you was in the middle of the presentation. So if I'm just curious that if I would put hashtag, a hashtag SDA on my Facebook page, would that make me a follower on Twitter with SDA?
No, it would not. It would just make it so that if you're a public account and someone decided to search up hashtag SDA, they'd be able to see your tweet.
Ah, okay. So, yeah. Okay, one more thing and I'll let you get on. So this is just, it's more private than Facebook. You're just able to get the tweets from the people that you already know, or are you an outside entity and people can befriend you or friend you?
So the thing about Twitter is that you can have it be a public account, which we'll walk through later, or you could be a private account. Under the public account, you can engage with anyone else who's public. So other organizations, other people. So say that like you're a public account and you decided to post with the hashtag SDA, anyone would be able to find that tweet. But if you're a private account, only your followers can engage with you. So the people that you accept in your circle. And then even if you use any hashtag as a private account, no one will be able to search it unless they follow you.
So if you put a hashtag and a account, it would just go to that account.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. And
I
so,
will lower my hand now.
yay, thank you for those questions. So the one that we're going to talk about the most here is the Explore page, which is where you see the trending topics that I had mentioned and different hashtags, as well as the profile page, which is how you'll be able to see your own tweets and your own media that you post. And so there are 4 ways that you can engage with the tweet on your homepage. You can either comment on it, and a comment will enable you to just like a Facebook comment, just respond to something that is sitting there, and anyone who opens the tweet can scroll down to see that comment. You can retweet or quote retweet, which is just press that like arrow key, the reverse arrow key, to then have that pop up on your main page or your profile page. You can also do it with a quote, which means you're writing something else along with it. You can like the tweet, and I'll show you how you can access your liked tweets as well. Or you can share the tweet as a direct message. So outside of the Twitter app, you can send it as a text message. You can copy it and send it in an email as well. That's what this last button allows you to do. You can also send it as a direct message to someone. So you see the messages icon here, which allows you to share that tweet with anyone directly one-on-one to another Twitter account. So this is the profile main page. There are 4 different options here on what you can view. You can view tweets, which will allow you to see the content that you retweet or the tweets that you write. Tweets and replies only show the threads, the messages on Twitter that you have replied to. Media refers to any images that you have shared. It just compiles all the images there. And likes is any place that you have liked a tweet, and it'll show all the liked tweets through your history. So those are all in the profile page. On your profile page, you can also edit your profile at any time, and you can change the cover picture on the back of your account, the profile picture, the little icon where you see the Senior and Disability Action logo, and as well. So anything that you change, you can change and rechange there. Should update the SDA photo on Twitter. And so now we're going to walk through how to actually write a tweet. So you can share any sort of thought that you want anytime you see this "What's Happening" button. So when you click that blue tweet icon, this is what will pop up. You can alter the settings so that you can have everyone see it, only the people that you follow, or only the specific people that you decide to tag in the tweet. When you tweet, you can also add an image, a GIF, a poll, or a reaction along with the characters. So in Twitter, you only have 280 characters to write in a tweet. So that's what's showing here. And now we're going to go back to what Greg had mentioned before on privacy. So say that you don't want to be a public account on Twitter, you want security and only to engage with the people you follow. And so I will walk you through how to do that here. Basically, if you go to the main page, you have to click the More button, then click on Privacy, Settings and Privacy here, which will then allow you to click Audience and Tagging. And then you have to check the checkbox to protect your tweets here. This will allow your account to remain private, meaning you will allow only certain people to request to follow you and they have to search for your handle and you do accept their follow request for them to see what you post. Drawback of this is then you won't be able to share things publicly with other people on Twitter, but it allows you to be safe as well, if that's a concern for you on Twitter. Are there any questions so far? Greg, I see your hand up.
So in other words, where does, well, my question is, where does the tweet go? I mean, does it go just to your friends, or is it just something that your friends can see when they go to your page, or how does that work?
So the easiest way to explain it is anyone who is following you will be able to see what you post.
Like a Facebook page, okay.
Like a Facebook page. Your friends will be able to see your content the same way that followers on Twitter will be able to see your content.
Okay.
But
One is a public and everybody can see it, and the other one is just your friends.
yes. And so if you're a public account and you have followers, and say that a follower decided to retweet what you said, that will allow everyone in their circle to also view it.
Oh,
Will you say that again, please?
Yes.
Would you repeat that again?
Yes. On Twitter, say that someone else, your follower, retweets something that you have posted, so decides to share it. Then that post gets shared with all of their followers too. That's how things become viral on Twitter.
And you might check that, Bismarck. People might want to keep that in mind when you decide to retweet somebody else's stuff.
Yes. Which is why it's good to follow community organizations on Twitter so that you can retweet what other people are retweeting as well. And to spread knowledge that way too.
Community what?
Community organizations such as Senior and Disability Action, maybe a politician that you follow and like, or an organization like Berkeley Mutual Aid, for instance. You can follow people and other things like that as well as your friends on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have questions?
Bisma, I just have a question. In my iPad, it looks different than the phone, and I'm a little at lost, but I can see that it's now on the side instead of down there, so probably it's the same, right? The same icons. It's gonna be probably the same, the same, I don't know, just a different presentation, right? But it's the same at the end.
Yes. Do you have a specific function or feature that you're trying to access on your iPad right now?
Well, the iPad appears, it says pinned lists that I have here. Bay Area news, immigration, and immigration reform. But I didn't know that I had a list until now that I'm seeing the list. And because I never really, sometimes I write something like adding to the, but I'm not able to see it. So I don't know if I'm really doing it, because I'm not able to see when I add something to the tweet that I'm retweeting. I'm not able to see it after I send it. So I don't know if there's a way to check immediately what you wrote, because you might, I don't know, clarify something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing about Twitter is if you actually go to the homepage, I mean, not the homepage, your profile page here, you should be able to see all your tweets under the first tab that says tweets.
I see.
The issue with Twitter too is after you publish a tweet, you can't edit the message. So you have to really be careful when you're writing to make sure that all of it has what you need to say, because you can't, the only
Yes, I'm
way.
sorry, I
Yeah.
need to make my calls next time.
No worries. But yeah, so you can't edit a tweet after it's been published. You can delete it and then rewrite it again, but you can't edit your tweet after it's written.
I see. Oh, my granddaughter, I'm really sorry because they're starting with classes and all that. Yes, I'll be back.
Does anyone else have any questions on Twitter? Perfect. So with that, maybe we can take a short 5-minute break right now.
This is unbelievable. I had these Twitter since like 2007. One of the members of Padres Unidos said, let's do one for the group. So the hashtag is CPU California. And I couldn't remember even that I was Comité de Padres Unidos. It was CPU California hashtag. So that is the name probably of that is appeared. And I forgot because I think that the last time I changed, I just remember the old one. So I'm really sorry. I had to redo everything in the tablet because I didn't have it in the tablet. It's in my phone and in the computer that now is broken. So I'm sorry. It takes me really forever. But yeah, it's good to understand about the private account that you say. I didn't know that you could do the same as in Facebook, that you can have Twitter, private Twitters with other people. I didn't know. And when I go and see again, I can see it's been, you see, joined July 2011, it says here. And the date of birth is October 1988 is when the group was born, the group. And yeah, it says Comité de Padres Unidos. That's why I was, wait a minute, it says in big the name, but the real name is right? CPU California. So I was trying to remember putting my email account, my phone account. That's why I was away trying to do this. And finally I got it. I got it. It takes me forever, that's what makes me feel more uneasy. And my arthritis, it really, it takes long. So another problem that personally I have is the passwords. I always forget the password. I remember some of it, but not all of it, or the details. And they say, don't write it down. And then they say it's too weak. Add numbers or add. So you're never, it's very confusing. And now it's passwords for everything. So I don't know. I think I'm going to get a notebook and put all my passwords there and I'm never going to forget. But, that's what they say. Don't do that because it's not smart to do that. So it's for, for us that we're not like you guys that are very fast at all of this. Honestly, no, you're not that fast.
Oh no, I actually will talk about, our last session is about how to remember all of these passwords, but I actually have an app that helps me keep all my passwords in a browser. It's a browser.
Yes.
So I'll tell everybody about it too, but it's a really
thank you.
Yeah, I'm making sure that you don't have to remember it.
This is unbelievable. Even for the doctor, for anything, you need a password. It's like I want to contact these people, and I have 2 passwords with my cell phone company. 2, one for the website, another one to talk to the guys. It's like too much. And I said, you just do something simple because one is just numbers. But I got so upset. I said, okay, just put 9s, all of them, right? 9s or 7s because you get really it's frustration what I feel sometimes, honestly. Not upset, that I cannot be angry, but very frustrated. I feel that that is too much for me, that I'm getting too old now because I'm gonna be 67, and you start thinking, I'm losing. When I was young, around your age, I knew all the phones by memory. People used to call me and tell, give me my uncles, give me my grandma, give me my, even of friends, I had them all in my mind. Those were other times,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
now that everything is here, I don't even know my own children's phone number. It's horrible because I think, wait a minute, what is the phone number? Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
No, thank you so much for sharing. But yeah,
Thank you,
that's the issue, the remembering all those passwords. And we'll find
Well, actually, I was gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't have your name up there. Oh, who's that?
Lupia.
Lupita. Look, if we've been kind of pampered because we have phones that hold the phone numbers in there. You know, back in the old days, we had to remember phone numbers the old school way from memory. We don't have to do that anymore. You know, and dates we can remember pretty good, but we don't even have to worry about that anymore because they have calendars to remind you of these things. So it's not that you're getting old, it's just that we have gotten pampered. That's why.
Well, Lupia, all the things you said are all the things I'm experiencing also. Thank you.
I'm sure that you will especially enjoy the last session of the course then on digital safety and security. So stick around until then, or I'll send you the video too, so that we can all engage in better practices around passwords so that we don't have to remember all of them too. Okay, so welcome back. We'll come back and just start with, are there any questions or specific features that people want to talk about on Twitter?
I got a quick question, Bismarck. Could you start a group tweet, say like I would say SDA? Could I turn around and have a public Twitter account that everybody will be able to view for different, like SDA. Like I said, I'm with Dharma, with Linda, with Axe Exclusive. Could I make it a Greg Ledbetter account as well as a Axe Exclusive Twitter account?
So the thing,
Twitter.
so are you talking about a account or a group?
We'll talk about it. I just want to know if you can.
Excuse me, I don't think Twitter would be, Twitter is really for reposting things. It's not, you know, we already have the form we need to, like Facebook and all those things. Twitter's not for that.
Twitter isn't, you're right. Linda is right here. You can't create.
I'm surprised she knew. Okay.
You can create messages or group chats with people who have an account already, but there's no way to add more people or make it public to add more people like that, unfortunately.
You can't invite anybody on Twitter then.
Carrie, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I saw an icon that says bookmark, but how do you use that? Like,
so bookmark is just a feature that lets you go back to a tweet that you saw and you want to keep and maybe see next time. And so the way that you do it, let me see, pull up my Twitter so I can show you how to do it. Let's see. To be honest, Twitter is changing its features all the time. So the bookmark is one of the most newer features, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. We'll learn together.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I know that, let's say that I wanted to keep this tweet. I can click. You can also engage in these sort of different ways. You can say you're not interested, you can follow the person, or you could add them to one of your lists. And so here I would be able to, I haven't created a list, but I could create a list specifically and say, this is for political education.
Oh, wow.
Next. And it'll make some suggestions on it, but I'm not interested in doing that. And then it created the list.
Uh-huh.
And so the next I can look at that list at another time, come back to it. And so it didn't actually, but let me go back and add it to the list.
Okay.
Oh, I think mine's lagging, but you understand the point of that.
Yeah, oh, wow.
And then I think, so the way that you bookmark tweets, which is just to come back at it without the list, is just going down to the caret key that allows you to share something and add tweet to bookmarks.
Ah.
And then when I come back to it, it'll be here.
There it is. Okay.
Excuse me, how is a bookmark different than a history?
So the bookmark allows you to just go back to see content that you've strictly bookmarked. It doesn't come up on your feed. No one can see it except you. But the history, the homepage or the profile, anyone can see this. Who is a follower? If you're private or public, anyone can search you and see your history.
So Bisma,
They can see where you've been on your computer.
No. Okay, let me rephrase. Basically, when I'm referring to history in this context, it refers to things you've liked or retweeted or quote tweeted. And so anyone can see that when they click on your profile page here. But if you bookmark a tweet, no one can see that except you. Does that make sense? Sorry for that confusion.
Yeah.
And then Greg, did you also have a question?
Yeah, I'm excited now. What's the more button?
More button is where all of our fun little settings are. So topics refers to anything that you kind of have followed or want to follow. It's similar to the hashtag. It just puts a bunch of hashtags together and says physics, biology, or something. And you can follow topics that way. Moments, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It says that you can create a moment. I don't know how to do this, to be honest. It's one of the newer features, but I don't think it's as important or used that often. And so you can see analytics, which just tells me my summary of who's visited or impressions. Top tweets is actually the Better Care, Better Jobs Act, which is interesting. So it just lets you engage or figure out who's watching your account. And the settings and privacy is what we talked about that can let you change the privacy settings on your account. So here you'll be able to make your account private if you wanted to under privacy and security. You can also change the language of the tweets that you see. So by going to the accessibility display languages, you can actually change the language of the tweets you see. So if you want to change the display to another language, you can do that here. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate Zoom. And you can also select additional languages. So let's say you want to see multiple languages. You can also press that. So I have it for English and Urdu, and sometimes Spanish I click as well.
Why would you need all three? If you were giving like a, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so when I look, yes, I can see
different
all
countries.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tweet in different countries at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, those are just some of the features to walk through. Does anyone have any other questions?
For myself, I have problems with pasting and cutting.
Quería preguntar, ¿por qué ¿por qué es que ese background? Oh,
Sorry, I think Ligia and Linda were talking at the same time. So I'll let Linda go first and then
oh,
Ligia.
sorry.
All good.
I have problems with linking.
Sí.
Linking?
Yes, how to paste and cut a link from like Facebook to, like if I post something, it's like, it's just posted. I don't know where to go back and get it.
So I'm trying to understand, is it like pasting a link from another site and if it works?
From my own site.
So
I want to be able to give the link to someone else opposed to sharing.
okay, so if you wanted to get the link to a tweet, say that I wanted to share this tweet right now, I can copy the link to the tweet.
Okay.
And then I can post it anywhere after. So I can even post it directly into the chat right now. Is that what you're asking about?
Yes, I am asking that, but I thought you posted to the actual page.
Oh, you want to retweet it then? So
I'm just interested in linking, how to and where to paste a link in any document that I'm making up and trying to give to someone else or want someone else to view.
Okay. Let's say you can usually, so let's say that I wanted to post this presentation on Twitter. Is that what you're asking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I'm going to share this presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
want to put that there on the group. Okay.
Yeah. And so I went and got get link at the bottom, and you can just copy this link here. And now it told me that I've copied it. And I should theoretically, when I press tweet, be able to just control paste. And now the link is there.
I missed all that. Okay.
So if you can copy the link, you should theoretically be able to paste the link here in the tweet. So anytime, I'll go back and slow it down a little bit. So let's say that I wanted to share this presentation. I went ahead and clicked on the share button here.
Mm-hmm.
I copied the link by pressing the copy link button.
Okay.
Then I went to my Twitter.
Okay. All right.
I clicked the tweet button. You can do that either by clicking this button here or anywhere it says what's happening. You can also do it there.
Okay.
And now I'm just going to control paste.
Okay.
And then I should be able to tweet it.
Okay.
You can also add text to it too. So view my presentation on Twitter 101. And as long as it's under 280 characters, I can paste all of that and it should come up. And so when I tweet this, it will share with all my followers. So the people that are following my account will be able to see this tweet.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And Ligia, we can have you ask your question now.
Okay, so my question was, I think I asked that before to you, Bisma, and it's about if we are tweeting similar topics, we can tweet more than once, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what would be the, the appropriate time? Like if I do it like in the morning, let's say at 2, no, not at 2, at 10 a.m., let's say. And then I tweet something. I tweet a couple of things. Can can I redo that 2 hours later or 3 hours later? What would be the most effective way?
So the nice thing about Twitter is all your tweets will show up on other people's page. So you could theoretically keep tweeting and then it will keep circulating up to people, the followers that you have. But the issue too with the algorithm of Twitter is, say that you post 5 times, it might, sorry, the traffic, it might put yours less and put other people's up ahead before that. Which is why if you are tweeting multiple things at once, it might be a good idea to just comment below a tweet that you've already done that's related. So let's say that I wanted to tweet this and I'm going to post it. And I wanted to post something else that's related to it that I want people to see both at the same time. So then I can go back to my profile. And let's say that I also want to just put the course as well, the course catalog that I want people to view as well. I can comment, add another tweet, and paste this here. Here is the agenda for the course. Now, when I publish it, it'll come up as what's called a thread. So now people, when they see this, will also see this link on the bottom of that tweet. And that's because—
So is that the thread?
Yeah, that's a thread now.
Okay.
Okay.
But if you can also do it unrelated, you can post as much as you want. It's just the more you post, the smaller the likelihood that everyone will see everything at once.
Okay, I see. So it's more effective if I post 1 instead of 3 at the same time.
Yes.
Well, excuse me, why would you post?
Because sometimes I do that.
But wait, that's not what I was going to ask you. No,
You know,
I'm going to
3
ask.
at a time, so
But
it's
no,
better to know that.
I'm asking, now I'm going to
Thank
blogging,
you.
because I thought that's what blogging was for. If you want to write.
Oh, wait. But
no.
if you have hashtag, you know, in your tweet, everybody that is using the hashtag will see it, right? So let's say you have a hashtag and there's 2 different tweets, like, you know, one is related to, I don't know, Medicare for all, for instance, and the other one is related to housing. Because you have the hashtag, would they have a different impact also? Like, and if you tweet them at the same time almost, would that still okay? Would that be okay? Yeah.
So anytime you use a hashtag, any person can search that hashtag and see the whole thread of everyone that's used it. So yeah, it'll come in with the rest of the people that have been engaging with it. And yeah, I guess the question about posting and optimal posting is specifically for organizations too. Linda to also talk about that, but it's for organizations that are trying to get their message out to a large group and deciding or whether or not to post all the information at once or to have it spread out through the day so that it can come up on people's feeds. And so threads are a good way to put similar information together. Tweets separately at a different time is good for different content. Great. Are there any other questions?
I do. I have a question. Why do people blog? What's the difference between a retweet and a blog?
Is that the major difference between Twitter and Facebook? Because Facebook will appear only on the people that you have as friends, right?
Yeah, and so we'll go back. So Linda just asked a question as well, and then Lihia, you just answered.
Oh, sorry.
So Linda, to answer your question, the purpose of a blog is to share large reflections with people. Twitter is only 280 characters, which is the equivalent of 2 sentences or so.
So this is for people who really want to write about an issue, and Twitter is for people who want to
quick information, quick links,
smaller portions of information. Okay, like little messages.
It's a good way to also communicate. So say there's a rally and you need people there. You can post with a hashtag that people are using to communicate out with people who might be interested. And so it's a quick way to then get attraction, get attention, and get information out on where to meet. Twitter would be more effective for that.
Okay.
And sorry, Lihia, I forgot what your question was. Did you ask the difference between Facebook and Twitter?
Well, in terms of posting, I think that for Facebook, the access will be different, right? Like access to your tweet, to your post on Facebook, because they don't really use that much of a hashtag, right? Do they? They don't, right?
But it's not, Twitter's really built around it. Twitter's built on what's viral, what gets a lot of attention, and that's what becomes popular in people's apps. Facebook is a bit more community oriented, where depending on your circle of people, that's where things travel. All right, and so I also want to have everyone try to search for SDA's Twitter and try to retweet something from your account. So I'm going to drop the handle for SDA into the chat. And so I want everyone to search for SDA and retweet something that you see on the SDA site.
How can we get to, since we're on, we have to do it on another device, is that it?
You can do it on your phone. You can also do it on a web browser. I can walk you through how to do that to get there. So now I'm going to search for Senior and Disabilities account. I'm going to delete this tweet because I don't actually want it up there. But now there's a search bar on top here. I'm going to put the handle that I just put into the chat, SD Action 1, and click on it. And now I am interacting with the Senior and Disability Action site. And so
Now, could I get there if I was were not a friend of SDA?
I'm not a friend of SDA, technically.
Oh, okay.
I'm just following the account. But you'd be able to do it the same way, just by putting in the handle there in the search bar.
I mean, just by touching on follow.
Yes, then you're following SDA. So anything that they do. But I want you to practice engaging with the tweet. So maybe you see one that you like and you're like, oh, I agree with this. And so now I'm going to retweet or quote retweet. Let's quote retweet. And then press tweet.
Is that considered a quote? Yes?
Yes, that was a quote.
So you go to follow. Once you go to follow, it opens up into.
You can technically engage with public accounts even if you don't follow them. If it's a private account, that's when you have to request to follow to then be able to interact with the account. And so in that way, it's a little bit of safety if you want to remain private from people, outside people. But since SDA is a community organization, it's a public account right now. But does that make sense? Is everyone able to see or search for SDA on Twitter?
I did it. I went through the search. The search I put, as you say, SDA action, SD action 1, and I'm here. I got it.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm here. But I can see the link where it says San Francisco, the link, it says link TREE. That link, yeah, if I go there, I can share it, right? Is to share the link. All right, thank you.
Yes.
And I'm sorry for the ambulance. I didn't realize that I was on. I was trying to talk. Thank you.
Yeah, this link tree is basically just a place where we post all relevant links. And so you can share this link. You can share any of these individual links if you wanted to.
I need to know how to get to it. Are you doing it on through Google or tweet or what?
So Twitter, I'm on twitter.com right now. You can either do this on your web browser on your computer by typing twitter.com or downloading the app, Twitter.
Was this the web browser here?
Does that make sense, Cora?
Well, I'm gonna try doing it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. I don't even know if I have the Twitter app, but I'll say twitter.com. Okay.
And then typically people use an email and a password, if you know what that could possibly be. And then this is searching within Twitter to find Senior Disability Actions account.
Okay. And now that I'm here in the search bar, I put at SDA 1, right?
SDA or SD Action 1.
Oh. Okay, where it says search, okay. All right. Loading now. What I'm searching for.
Here's some Twitter
happens.
right there.
I don't know. Yeah. See, now it said in Twitter, it asks to continue to Twitter. And it has my name and add, okay, I don't know.
Cora, would you like to share screen to show us what your screen looks like? Would that be useful?
Well, I'm on another deal. Yeah, I guess I could do it.
How can you do it on another device?
How did I get on another device?
No, I'm just, no.
Cora, I made you co-host, so in case you wanted to share your screen, you can. It's the little green button that says share screen.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not on. I'm on my tablet trying to get into Twitter, so I don't know if it.
Okay. Bye, Ligia. Thank you for joining.
But that's okay. It says to continue to Twitter. So I don't know what that.
Are you on? Oh, it might. Do you have the app already downloaded, or is it asking you? Is it redirecting you to the app?
When I went to twitter.com, it came up, continue with Google or create an account.
Oh, okay. So do you know if you have an account already? It might not let you see the SDA action site without you logged into an account.
Okay, well. Okay, you can continue with the class. I'm just trying to do whatever.
It's all good. We're kind of at a good place anyway, and we're just helping each other out at this point. So we can work through, because I don't think that Twitter will let you engage with things unless you're logged in already.
That's not happening, so.
Everybody else is logged in, is that it?
No, I'm not.
Bisma, this is Guadalupe.
Hi, Lupita.
Hi. Yeah, I am. Did you send something? Because I still see the same one that is I'm a Christian. Send the last one, right? This is what appears. I'm a Christian sent a tweet, right?
That is the last tweet.
11 hours ago, right? That's what it means. So you are gonna send something for us? You're gonna. Who's the people that can post in Senior and Disability Action? Anybody?
So this, so what this basically means is we follow someone or someone who knew Amy Christian, and it came up on SDA's account, and we retweeted. So the reason why that specific thing is retweeted is because they shared the disability book reading series post. Do you see that?
I can see, you're right.
Yeah, and so that person retweeted, and so we were just retweeting their retweet. So there's three different actions that happened there.
I see. So you guys always retweet. You don't tweet. You don't do tweets, right?
We can do tweets too.
Yeah.
So if you go right below that one, is the Senior and Disability Action tweet, the original one.
I see. You're right. Yeah, thank you, Bisma. Sometimes I get lost too. Well, now I understand. Did you say that you will retweet something for us or no? You didn't say that, right?
I was
That
asking for you to retweet something from the page.
From this page to my page, right? Okay. So it could be any of those, right? Or do you think that is better but it's the past action, right? We are happy to support in the.
Yes, you can choose which one you want to show up. And thank you to our interpreters for sticking around through the Spanish speakers that came and left with us. So you're free to go, but thank you.
Thank you very much, Bisma. I did a retweet of the original. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes. Are there any final questions in the last 10 minutes of the course to cover?
Hey, Bisma,
I don't know. I guess to get this Twitter, I guess I'll have to start all over again. I'm not sure. I do have an account, and the email they bring up for me, and I put the password in, is not working. So
okay,
we'll work on that together, Ms. Cora, because I got 2 accounts that I didn't even know I had. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Hey, Bisma, the question I had for you, and I know I've been a wet sponge here, and I thank you very much. You've been very informative. This is one of the best forums that we've had in a while. Are there any other apps or venues that, like, I know they have what's the other one, TikTok, but are there any other ones like Twitter?
I think Twitter is very unique in that it allows you to do quick actions like this. I'd say that there's any social media app is a place that we can organize. So definitely TikTok is one of the newer ones that has come about. But yeah, I think that is basically the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Instagram, I forgot about that one. Yeah, okay. I thought there was, yeah, these
Yeah,
two.
TikTok. Yeah.
What is the purpose of Instagram?
Instagram is more around media. So like either graphics or photos and sharing that with your followers. It doesn't really build for conversations or group chats or on Facebook, but it's not as text heavy as Twitter is.
Okay.
We might have to look into that, Dharma.
Yes, SDA has all three of those. So unfortunately, I could only do Facebook and Twitter for this one, but in future courses, I will also probably do Instagram and maybe even build our capacity on TikTok at one point.
Please do, because our seniors need this, really. This senior needs it for sure.
Well, there's a lot of things out there. I don't think, I'm finally venturing into Facebook. I wouldn't mind tweeting. But I don't want to waste all my time just soaking up social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to, be everywhere. I just want to kind of focus in on what's going to work best for me.
Exactly. And that's ultimately the goal, is trying to find ways to connect with our communities online and to grow, really. And to make sure that we are exercising that muscle of community power together.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This is Guadalupe. Thank you very much, Bisma, for your patience and for telling us all what we're asking you. This is great. You're a big help for us because we are really lost. This is too fast for us and too much at the same time. Just, Bisma, could you please tell us about the app for the passwords, to keep the passwords in one place? I really appreciate that, because that is really giving me a hard time. Sometimes you cannot even get into your computer without the password. And just with only one letter that is not correct, or that is uppercase instead of low, that's a problem. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's called
maybe that was my problem.
Yeah.
Last pass.
And the 3 courses from today, we'll be actually walking through how to create an account together and do all of those things. So if you want, you can start looking at it on your own. It's called LastPass.
LastPass, yes.
And I'll also just walk through the different features of it together.
All right. Thank you very much, Bisma. So next class is on Monday, right?
Yes, next class is Monday.
I'm gonna be here on time because I had something suddenly. Thank you very much, Bisma. And so it probably is time to go, right? It's only us that are left. All right. So thank you, Bisma.
Thank you so much, Bisma.
Especially for Greg and Cora, because I know that we had some Twitter issues that came up that we weren't able to address fully in the class. I will be holding office hours from 2 to 3 on Mondays and Wednesdays as well. So if you want more one-on-one support and kind of talking through things together, I can be available then.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bisma. Have a nice weekend. Have a rest of the weekend, nice weekend, all of you guys. Thank you very much. It was nice. Very nice.
What time will the class be?
So it's Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the drop-in hours will be an hour before, from 2 to 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Drop-in. You say drop-in hours in our class?
Zoom.
Okay.
So you go in the Zoom earlier, basically.
In the Zoom, I see. So it's sort of like you open the Zoom again at that time? Oh, I can see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you said drop-in. I thought in-person drop-in.
Yeah, no virtual drop-ins.
All right.
It was like, wait a minute, drop-ins? Thank you, Bisma. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.